Okay, we should be live. Let's tweet this out. Hey everyone. Hey Bird and Rock, Andy, Magvision. I'm just tweeting out, hey Wolfgang. Just doing a quick tweet. That looks like it's coming a bit dirty. How you guys doing? Hey Vince. So, filling up. Let me just check on this. Oh, this is coming dirty. Hold on. Need to do a quick thing. It's looking a bit dirty. Okay, let's see if it works out. So I just wanted to do a bit of an update on the Microdelta rework. It actually is printing very well. The start layer of this particular filament is a bit finicky. I just wanted to test it out. But it's printing, and it's printing very well. Hey Dimon. Actually, it didn't take a lot of work. What happened was I finished the stream. I kind of took a deep breath, went out, had a drink, calmed myself, came back, and it was actually a very, very easy fix. I just grabbed some 800 grit sandpaper. I took the top off the printer, took out the bushings, the brass bushings, all 2, 4, 6, 8, and all 12 of them, and just literally ran the sandpaper inside, and they fit perfectly well. They were sliding nicely, and that was pretty much it. And the reason why I did that was I took everything off, and I just wanted to start doing everything step by step. And the bushings were in fact just a bit tight for the rods. So even without them being inside the plastics, they were still a bit tight. So I just needed to loosen them up a bit. It actually is printing very well. Let me just take that off there and show you what I've been printing. So, hold on. So this, actually let's start off. This was the first print I did. This is a Benchy, which I printed with the Emotiontech PLA that came with the printer. It came out fairly well. The only problem was that I used Simplify 3D for it straight away, right off the bat, and the extrusion multiplier just wasn't doing it justice. And then it kind of occurred to me that a lot of people told me they would rather I use Cura because not everyone can afford Simplify 3D, and that makes a lot of sense. So I decided to switch on to Cura. It's freely available, so I decided, why not? Let's go for Cura. And this was the result. It came out, let me see, let me actually, hold on. Let me turn on the autofocus. So, this is the result. Come on. You can do it. Bonjour, Impact. Or bonsoir, actually. Actually, yes, I can switch the cameras. Hold on. Let me just do this so you have a much better view. So, this is the Benchy. And it came out really, really well. Bottom could be a bit better, but it came out quite decent. So I'm quite happy. Come on. Come on. You can do it. There you go. So after I did that, I printed the spool holder that comes with the Delta, and I decided to print this. Now this is the Colosseum, which I found on my mini factory. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably found out that today I've decided that I'm going to start a collection. I want to print everything that is on my mini factory Scan the World. This particular filament is thermochromatic PLA. Basically, this changes color as it heats up. I'll switch on the. Actually, no, it's not here. This as it starts printing, it comes out white, but then as it cools down, it goes dark. And that actually came really, really, really nice. Very, very, very impressed with this printer. Following that, someone on Twitter told me deltas are known. Let's call him out. It was Jimmy. Hey Lucas. So Jimmy told me deltas are known for printing fast, so you should be printing fast, because I was printing at about 45 to 50 millimeters a second. So I printed this. This was printed in 85 millimeters a second. It took about 38 minutes in total, and it actually came out really, really well. I was very, very surprised. So I'm really impressed. I'm very, very, very impressed with the printer. Let me bring up the chat so I can see what you guys are saying, because I've been blabbering on. Lucas, yes, it works now. Tell me something, Lucas. Are you from Malta? Because Borch is a Maltese surname. A close-up of the arches. Yes, I can. Let me do this. And let me see how I'm gonna... So... apply. That, sorry for the shaking. That's the finish. It actually came out really, really, really well. Hey Nita, no, you didn't miss much. I just wanted to do a bit of an update, seeing as I ended the stream last time on sort of a disappointing note. So I just wanted to update everyone, you know. So let's go back down here. As do there. Let me fix the zoom back. Whoa. What was that noise? So I'm gonna have to restart the print. Hold on, let me remove that so I can read. Okay, Joe, you forgot the troubles with the bushes and sanding. How good were the instructions and overall build guide? So, if you... Hold on, let me just stop this for a minute. Because I didn't do a proper first layer, so they didn't stick very well. So we'll try that again. Uh, if I had to forget the bushings, I'd say that was very, very clear instructions. It would be a very good first printer in terms of instruction wise. It's very, very clear. Every page you have is literally a step, and it's as clear as day. The only thing that sort of went wrong was I didn't know the orientation of the build tax sheet. So my OCD kicked in. I had to take that off, clean it up, and redo it again so it's the right orientation, just because it was bugging me. But other than that, it's absolutely fine. It's very solid. It's a very solid printer. It's sheet metal. It's thick sheet metal. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to testing it out as much as I can. Hey Renegocier, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I, honestly speaking, on Cura, the extrusion is set at a multiplier of 1. And that's basically it. Hold on, let me restart this. Because what's happening is, I forgot to, as some of you may know, when you set the Z height, there could be a chance that some filaments need a different Z offset than others. This, actually, you know what we can do? Let's print Charmander again. There. Let's print Charmander again at the speed it was doing, because that was done properly. So we'll take it from there. The red one doesn't. This is the filament that changes color. It's thermochromatic filament. The printer looks like a spider. Yes, it does. That's kind of the thing that I love about deltas. It's the way they move, the sound they make. It's kind of mesmerizing. Hey Ryan, don't worry. I've been keeping things under control. So Nita, basically just I sanded the inside of the bushings with about 800 grit sandpaper. That was it. I literally rolled up the sandpaper, put it in the bushings, and just moved it maybe 10 times, 15 times, just enough to remove, to give it a bit of slack. And it worked perfectly fine. For those who were watching, at some point we heard a snap. And that was a couple of fins on the hot end fan snapped off. And the reason for that is I put the orientation of the hot end wrong, and as soon as I tried to level the bed, the hot end hit the fan, so it snapped a few fins off. But I changed the fan, I had a spare one, so everything is fine now. Actually, the Colosseum was printed at 45 millimeters a second. I'm impressed. It came out absolutely beautiful. I'm very, very happy with this printer. It's still too soon to fully evaluate, but as I said, so far the only thing wrong was the bushings, and that's really something small. Granted, if it's someone who doesn't have some sandpaper, it might be a hassle, but as you can see now, that was it. See. So yeah, our resident designer is in the house, Ryan. So yes, it's going really well. For a printer that is 440 euros with a heat bed, the kit is very solid. Instructions are easy to follow. Granted, it took me a bit longer, mainly because of the bushings, and apart from that, when you do a live build, it's kind of strenuous on you. You have to take care, you have to look at the chat. Hey Paul, thanks for joining. Paul is my savior. Paul was helping me out along the chat during the build, and he has one of these. And I've been talking to him ever since, because one of the issues I had was I installed the Repetier firmware, the software that came on the site. Unfortunately, it was in French, so I spent like a day using it in French, and even to auto-level the bed. But I spoke to Paul, and he just told me where to change the language, and that was it. I was really frustrated, but that was it. It is, Paul. Hey, Frederick. Yes, it's printing, and it's printing very well. Martin, the noise level on this printer is awesome. And I know this because I have this. I set it up, and according to Tom, you have to be about 1 meter away. And it was showing me about 51 decibels. Now, 51 decibels is about 7 decibels less than the Prusa on silent mode. So that's quite a lot. Can I make the Colosseum change color? Yes. Give me a second. Okay, so we have a heat gun. It's going to get a bit noisy. Let me just move the camera. I'm going to try to do it here, so... I don't want to put too much heat because I don't want to melt it. And there we go. Oh, let's put this over there. How awesome is that? I am loving this filament. I absolutely love it. It is. It's really, really cool. It's actually during the live build, I said I ordered 2 spools of filament from Emotiontech with the printer, and unfortunately, they had only sent me 1. Now, I received the printer. I think it was on Wednesday, and on Thursday, I spoke to Emotiontech and I told them about the missing spool. They apologized thoroughly, and within 2 days, I got Saturday evening. They sent me the thermochromatic spool that they forgot. They sent it through priority post, and they also sent me an extra spool, which kind of looks like a copper fill, as an apology, which was absolutely awesome. So yeah, this is really cool. So I'm going to leave this here for now, actually. So here, let's put them both together. Actually, Demon, not really that much. If a little heat is put on it for an extended period, it will still change color. I just need to make it change color very quickly due to the live stream, so I use the heat gun. To be completely honest, even after printing, it took about 15 minutes sort of to cool down completely and turn black. So. It does not, as far as I know, it does not wear the nozzle. That's as far as I know. I might be wrong. Let me check if on the Emotiontech site it actually says about the changing temperature. So, special filaments. Thank you, non-productive. But to be fair, they're my favorite, so So G-fill, come on, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There you go. It's called thermosensitive gray. Actually, you know what? Let me put the link so you guys can have a look. Put the link in the chat. There. Yes, glow in the dark does do a slight bit of damage to the nozzle. How much, I don't know. I do have some ordered. Actually, I have some that's been ordered for a very long time because I ordered it with my multicolor add-on for the Prusa in October. So I'm still waiting for it. Let me just so you guys can have a look. As you can see, that's going quite fast. That's another Charmander that I'm printing. Thanks, Nita. But at least it's reasonably handsome. So yes, 33 degrees. So more than 33 degrees. So on a hot summer's day, you leave it out for a couple of minutes, it should change color. And as you can see, it still hasn't fully changed color back yet. So Alberto, speed. This print is going at 85 millimeters a second at the moment. Outer layers are going at 45 millimeters a second. In a different temperature speeder that could be really useful. The Tigger head that I did, yes, I don't see why not. Microdelta or Prusa. Two very different printers. It's very difficult to compare. Quality-wise, I still have to dial in the settings. I still have to test more filaments. I want to do the same test prints that I usually do, which is the Rexor Castle, the Groot, the Baby Groot. I want to do all of them. But I have to say that the quality on this printer is quite impressive. I really wasn't expecting it. I really wasn't. Ah yes, the LCD. No, actually it's not. It's really not, because it's starting to change color now. Let me throw this here, just for the sake of having a benchy close by. Two Trunksies with a spare, yeah, with spare fuses. I'd say with a spare, with spare PSUs, just in case. Any infill? Yes, it has 20% infill. And the infill is also at 85 millimeters a second. The benchy, I'm very happy with the benchy. There's some slight Z-banding on the top here, as you can see. But other than that, it came out really, actually, hold on. So this is a much nicer one. The color, this is also an Emotiontech. It looks like this is kind of the blue equivalent of the Rigiding PTG red, the one that I did the video about. But this is in blue, and this is PLA. So it has a very nice sheen to it. I really like it. And it wasn't half bad. Hey, Cat. Are the arms plastic? Anywhere concerns? The arms are injection molded plastics, so I'm not really concerned. To be completely honest, I put some grease on the ball joints just in case, just to help it out a bit, but it didn't make much difference. I mean, it's just for me to lengthen the life of them. The main board of my Trunksy just smoked and broke. Be careful. Probably going to switch to our amps. Ouch! So far, I haven't had issues with the Tronxy. This week I'll put out the full review of it, because I think I've printed more than enough now to have a good idea of what it's capable of. Also, I need to get it out of the way, because during the week I will be receiving the Enervision EV160, which was sent to me for a review, so I'm really looking forward to that. So, what do you think about the inexpensive PLAs at PrinterBot store? They're like, Hey Matt, first of all, honestly speaking, I don't know about them. I haven't tried them yet. I didn't even know they exist, or else I would have bought some. I do have a Prusa i3 Benchy. I have lots of Benchies. That's the one. We'll take it from there. This is the Benchy I had printed on the Prusa. And it's quite good, I have to say. Slight bit of issues here, because I hadn't adjusted the speed of the printer to take into considerations short print times per layer. I would have wanted to switch that off, but other than that, yeah, it came quite good. Very, very good, actually, so I can't complain. Hey Alberto, I actually buy most of my materials. I have had a couple of companies send me some sample filaments to try out, but most of the filaments you see here, I bought myself. Actually, most of the filaments and all the printers you've seen so far, I bought myself. Nita, have I tried any of the really, really cheap filaments? To be completely honest, no, I haven't. I started off, even before I got the printers, I bought rigid ink filaments. I have yet to try really cheap filaments. I actually have a spool of black filament that came with the Tronxy, which I can possibly use. I'm guessing that's really not expensive. Is there a US source for this kit? Non-productive. There isn't a US source that I know of, but I do know they ship internationally, and the shipping cost is not expensive. Making my own filaments. Honestly speaking, that wouldn't be such a bad idea. I believe that that would be the next step in home development, and that is desktop filament makers. Because when you buy a 3D printer, you're going to want to use all the prints that go wrong, and you stop. So it would be ideal to have a filament maker. This is the Emotiontech Microdelta Rework. It's 400 euros. If you want the extra heat bed, the heat bed, it's an additional 40 euros. They do offer this screen, a digital LCD screen, a graphical LCD screen for an extra 40 euros. However, at the moment they're giving those out for free. Because there's a 2 or 3 week wait, because they've been very popular, so they're giving out those for free with every order. I'm saving my scraps to bake into sheets to machine on a little CNC mill. I actually have one in my garage, a homemade CNC machine. Has a built-in grinder, and you can use it to scrap your failed prints and recycle the filament. That would be absolutely awesome. I actually have to look into that. It makes a lot of sense. The build size on this is 15 centimeters in diameter and 20 centimeters in height. Actually, to be correct, it's almost 21 centimeters in height. It's 209.1, I think. Okay, so the printer bought 5 minutes for 25 cents a kilo, which isn't that bad really. So Precious Plastics has incredible videos on plastic recycle. That's interesting. I'll definitely give that a look. Is the printer experiencing stick and slide after you fix? No, not at all actually. No worries, Mackie. It really, at least I don't think it affected it at all. It's printing very well. There's absolutely no slack or play in the rods. It's printing really well. So that was just it. They were just a bit too tight. So just a bit of high grit sandpaper inside the bushings, and that was it. You should print a bender head. I will. There's a lot of things I want to print, and what's happening is that I get sidetracked very quickly because I get very excited about new print. So even though I'm planning to print all the things on Scan the World in my mini factory, now Ryan is starting to produce a lot of prints, including Deadpool's buttocks, and I tend to want to print the bust of Deadpool now, of Venom. I still haven't printed Venom. I got sidetracked once again. So yeah. Let's see if I missed anything. That was a Kirby. The print that failed, and the reason, strictly speaking, it failed because of me. I did the bottom layer a bit too slow, so it didn't print that well. It started sort of clogging up the heat bed. But what I can do is set up, although I'm not going to be here that long, so I'll just wait for this to finish. But yeah, it was a Kirby. I have to print a Kirby. I love Kirby. Are you getting diagonal resolution zebra stripes due to delta lack of resolution? I'm trying. Let me see if I can sort of get a really good view of this. I have a bit of Z banding, as you can see it here from the top. Actually, let me increase the size of this so you can see it better. There you go. There is a bit of Z banding. Keep in mind that this was the second print I did. It's just the Z banding. And honestly speaking, I think rather than Z banding, this is more of a extrusion thing. Is the settings. Forgive my disgusting thumb, by the way. I think it's more of extrusion at start and end of the print, because everything else came out absolutely great. It's very smooth, but it only does weird things where it starts and stops. So that's my settings, not the printer. Just a little bit of Z banding, but as you can see, it's very, very good. I could possibly reduce the retraction, exactly. Have you thought about building your own printer from scratch yet? Yes, I have. I have thought about it. Let me show you this. Not only have I thought about it, I'm trying to find the ways to put it together already. And all of the budget printers that I'm doing, at some point, some of them will end up as parts. So yeah. Actually, there you go. Printing the AT-AT model. I actually saw that and I really want to print that. How much longer on the Charmander? It's at 58%. It's been going on for 22 minutes, so I'd say about another 14 minutes. Something like that. What was my first print on this printer, or my first print ever? Build videos. What did I miss? Okay, build videos, and you want me to do a video of building a printer. I probably will at some point. I'm learning as I go along. There's still a lot for me to learn. But yes, I definitely will. Pondering my Delta as we speak. To build one yourself or to buy one. The Microdelta was actually a very good printer, but obviously it's China made, so there are certain things which you can expect, but it was a good printer. This, on the other hand, it's solid, it's sheet metal, it's really well built. It's not bad though, if only wanted a small pool. Most of the time the smaller spools are more... Okay, that's... I was having a side conversation about cheap filaments. What was your first print? My first print ever was a maker coin. I designed my own maker coin, and that was my first ever print, which I sent to Heather, Didi Heather at a Pyro Design, because I printed in pink and I promised her that I send it to her. A DIY printer build. Yes, I will. I will. At some point, I'm sure I will. It's going to get quite busy here very shortly with printers, but yes, I will. Does it only have one metal bracket, not all three? No, it only has the rear metal bracket, and that also serves as sort of a guide for cable management. It doesn't really have any structural, from what I found, is it doesn't have any structural abilities towards the printer. It makes no difference whatsoever. If you could choose any bits from any printer to make your ideal printer, what would they be? I love deltas. I really love deltas. If I could build like a little monster, you know, the TiVo little monster, something like that. But most likely it's going to be a Core XY printer. I'm liking the idea of a Core XY printer. So stepper motors, I have no idea. I like the Prusa stepper motors simply because the lead screw is part of the stepper motor, so you don't have to use the coupler, which I really don't like. I think it has too much play in it. Definitely not a PEI sheet. I don't like them. I would start from there. In terms of boards, I still don't have enough experience to know what difference is with what. However, the board on this particular printer I really like. I like because it can take dual extruders. It's 32-bit. It takes 12 volts or 24 volts, so it's quite flexible. And it also comes with ready connections to hook it up to Ethernet. How does the bed leveling work? Actually, the bed leveling is very, very, very easy on this one. You can do it through Repetier or Repetier. It's literally you. Actually, I might show you once this is finished. So you have this part that comes with it. What you do is you unscrew that. It attaches, there's a point in the effector that it goes through, and you just tighten it back up. And you hook this up into the printer. You run the bed leveling wizard, which does everything by itself. It takes about 3 minutes of leveling because it takes, I think it's about 20 different points of the build plate. Once done, you take this back off and you adjust the Z offset. And that is basically it. You can do it through Repetier or you can do it via hardware. So What does this use for a hot end? This actually has a mini hexagon hot end. So let me see if I'm missing anything. How freely does this spool move on top? Any jerk as it gets pulled? Actually, I love the spool holder. This, it's free flowing, but it has enough friction to it that it kind of holds it in place, so it doesn't keep on going. It literally stops. So I love this printer, the way they thought about everything. It's compact, you know, it's in one piece. It's just one wire that goes into the electricity, and that's it. You have a power button, you have a reset button, and you can just carry it. All it needs is a handle, and you're good to go. It very much needs it for structure. This is a very elegant fit. It only, the back plates, this part here, is only attached with 4 small screws. That's why I don't think it does too much for the rigidity of the frame. So Joe gets his wish list out. Oh, if you only saw my wish list. Hey Joe, still in the process of watching the build video for this printer. When can we expect a full review of the machine? I've been wanting a good Delta. I would need at least 2 weeks with the printer. Those who see my videos know that I put a printer through its paces. This is not going to stop printing. What I will probably do is maybe within a week I might do an initial review or initial thoughts, but the most likely scenario is within 2 weeks I'll put out a full review. Possibly 3, we'll see, but most likely 2. The reason being is that I have another printer coming in next week. Then I am waiting for the Sigma R17 to come in as well. Congratulations, now you've given me another first printer to consider for myself. Apologies. Why don't I like PI? I have issues with PI, getting things to stick on it. I really do. It's the one surface area that I get the most warping out of with PLA. No matter what I do, I have difficulty getting things to stick to it, and no matter how clean it is. And the only reason why things are sticking to it now is because I got some, I think it was like 400 grit sandpaper, and just lightly scuffed it and then cleaned it, and then it started sticking with a bit of glue. How much is this kit with such good parts? This is 400 euros for the base model and 440 euros with a heat bed. Plus, at the moment, you get the free graphic LCD. Yes, at the moment it's sold out, so you have to wait about 2 or 3 weeks for it. I want to see you build the Renren. Huh. But you can put the review out, right? Andy, it is quiet. It is solidly built. It prints well. It's easy to assemble to a certain extent, of course. It has what I feel is a very safe power brick. It's manageable, it's movable. The print area is not that big, but as a first printer, honestly speaking, I don't think you'd go that wrong with this. Hey Nita, I don't do imperial. We Maltese do metric. So it's 16 centimeters in diameter and 21 centimeters in height. Hey, Zia. Actually, Paul, what happened was I took it off when I took the top off, and I haven't stuck another one on it yet to replace it. I keep on saying that I'm going to do it, but I haven't done it yet. It's actually over here. See, I'm not lying. It's the last one I have. Actually, if I had to give Emotiontech a suggestion, was to put more of these in so you can do cable management at the bottom. Many more printers. Yeah, many more printers. My wife is starting to get worried now about space. I have at least 4 or 5 more printers that I know that I'm either going to be buying or coming for review. You could tune the acceleration a bit slower. The table seems to be wobbling. The table is wobbling because I'm wobbling it as I move it. Because strictly speaking, that's sitting on a different table. Because these are 2 tables connected together. Well, not connected together, just sitting next to each other. I thought the point of PI issue was that the model sticks when it's warm and practical goes, maybe it's the more designed for ABS temperature. Co-point, I actually do think that because I get better adhesion with filaments that require higher temperatures than lower ones like PLA. What's a lovely delta? Ricky, it is. I know you've not had it long, and maybe Paul could answer this better, but do you foresee as the most fragile parts? Thing that will break first? Well, I broke the fan first, so I'm guessing it's the fan. Yes, this is my man cave, as you can see. Wait. Man cave. My wife bought me that. Hey Matt, that's actually a very good point, but the words first printer are used because I think a lot of people are scared because there's quite a lot to it. Yes, it's obviously if you can afford it, a first printer would be, I don't know, a Sigma or Race 3D N2 Plus. If you can afford it, yes, go ahead, get that as a first printer. But it has to be a balance of whether you want a kit, whether you want something pre-built, maybe you don't want to spend too much, you just want to see how it goes, you want to get a feel for it, and you don't want to splurge out too much money. As a first printer, I got 3. Because I could either get one expensive printer or get 3 different ones and sort of start learning from there. But not everyone can afford that, so people ask what the ideal first printer is because they might be scared of thinking they might be getting way too in over their head with them. So the tree frog you printed for the I love my Prusa. Yes, I mean the Prusa is very good. That Charmander looks awesome. Yes, it is. It's slightly oversaturated on the camera, but yes, it's looking really good. A Fabricator Mini sounds actually like very good. I have the One How i3 Plus, no problem with so far. That's another thing. The One How i3 Plus also is very good as a first printer for someone who is scared that maybe a kit is a bit too much for them as a first printer. And it comes in, what, 3 pieces and you're done. Well, Joe's saying that his Prusa is really noisy, for example, and I am very sensitive to noise, just kind of worries me now. He just said that this Delta is a lot quieter. The Prusa is noisy, at least my Prusa is noisy when it's in high speed mode. Oh, sorry, high powered mode. It's loud. It's the kind of loud where I close it up in this room. If I leave it running overnight and I'm 3 rooms away in my bed, I can actually hear it. Exactly. The One How took like less. It's about 10 minutes to build, and I really love the touchscreen on the One How. Yes, actually. To a certain point, the documentation on the Prusa is, I'd say it is better not because it explains it more, but it actually shows you photos of the parts. You have to be very attentive on the Prusa because you have to look at the orientation of certain parts. But I enjoy other than that. Hey PT3D. What would be required to use high power mode on the Prusa? I use high power mode if I am printing something large and with a lot of detail. If I am printing anything that requires more than 210 degrees on the hot end or more than 60 degrees on the heat bed, because the problem I was having was if the temperature starts dropping after about 5 minutes, and it was ruining all my prints. Take it away, but that's because I do everything in Octoprint. Octoprint, I still have to install. I have a Pi 3. I have a Pi 3 which I still have to install. How much more time on the print? The print is done. Yes, noise dampening feet. I actually printed the noise dampening feet. The only reason why I took them off was because it felt a bit more wobbly. So I took them off. Instead, I put some styrofoam underneath. So, this is ready. There he is. He's got a bit of a mohawk going on. Let me see if I can get a better... Hold on, let me move that. There. That came out quite well. Let me increase the size of that so you guys can see. It prints out really well at 85 millimeters a second. That is really, really good. Thanks, Tony. It does look like candy, but you can't eat this. Because it's not candy and it's mine. So yeah, let's put the Colosseum over there. And that is basically it. It's working, it's fine. The issues I had in the beginning were very minor. It's ironic because it only took me maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes to fix them. But I just needed to get out of the room for 5-10 minutes sort of to clear my head, calm down, have a cup of tea, come back in here and just sort of recalibrate. Yes, you can see the diagonal lines, but keep in mind this was printed at 85 millimeters a second, and I will try to push it up even higher than that actually. And I also need to fine-tune the settings for the printer, because at the moment I'm just using standard settings that came with Cura 2. Tea solves everything. Yes, it does. Did the spool of filament come with it, Joe? No, I actually ordered it separately. It comes with a sample of filament, which is this blue. At least this is what came with mine. And I also see that's actually a very nice sheen. The only issues there are here is where the print head starts and stops. But other than that, that's a beautiful finish. Ardert is less economical because the steppers have to move more. All three move at the same time, whereas only two on a standard printer. In terms of economy, I honestly don't know. Would you mean like electricity or wear and tear? Because if it's wear and tear, they actually move much less than a normal Cartesian style printer, because they only have to do very small fine movements. How long did that print go? It took 38 minutes. So they're replacing the bearings, so I get my 2. I do have IGA's bearings on the way. Joe, if I get my manual tonight around 9 p.m, you want to give me a moral support on my Ren build if I do live? If I'm still awake, yes, absolutely. Wait, 9 p.m. your time. What's there? It's 9 p.m. here, my time now. It's actually 9 past 12, 12 past 9. So I'm going to be going to bed very soon, but if I wake up early, definitely, because I have to go to work in the morning. Unfortunately, this makes no money, so I have to go to work. In terms of electricity, printers really do not waste that much electricity. They really don't. If you go to Nillabean's channel, he actually has an episode which covers to the point how much electricity you're wasting. And if you have a printer like the Prusa running on high power mode 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, if I'm not wrong, it's like $100 a year of electricity, which is like... Could you zoom in on the new Charmander? Let me find the Mohawk Charmander. Let me do this and we'll zoom in. Let's do autofocus and we'll zoom. Okay. How's that? But if I'm up, I'll definitely come for support, I promise. Come on. Come on, little camera. Hold on. Gonna have to go manual. You were there? Oh. Seriously? I can get it to focus. Nope, I can't. I think I went too close. Ah, there you go. It's actually not that bad. Considering it was printing, as I said, at 85 millimeters a second, that's actually not bad. Yeah, that's the Mohawk. It's gonna be his style. Well, he should have like a bit of a flame on his tail, so I might as well have one on the top of his head. Put my phone's flashlight on it. Let me see if I can... Yeah. It looks a bit weird. On. Oopsie. It's just too glossy and the camera's sort of missing it. Let me remove that. Okay. So yeah, well, I don't want to stay too long. I'd love to stay longer, because it's much more fun when I'm not doing a kit and I can actually interact with you guys. But I just want to give a bit of an update because the stream ended in a negative note, in a frustrating note. But half an hour later, 1 hour later, I stayed up till about 6 o'clock in the morning then, because once I got it running, I had to print something. And then I slept 2.5 hours, and then I was wrecked all day. But yes, it's working and I'm very happy. I'm very impressed with it so far, but it's only been 2 days, so there is much more testing to be done. I want to try doing something intricate, complicated, some statue from Scan the World on my mini factory, definitely. Try more filaments, not just PLA. I'm gonna try ABS, some wood fill possibly, everything that I can. Well, I've been here for about an hour now. One of my biggest concerns for that is getting dimensional accuracy. Actually, I have very good accuracy on deltas. The Micromake delta gets it spot on. A 20 by 20 cube gets it to about 20.1 by 19.9. So I need to print some cable chains from my Prusa. I actually need to do that too. Thanks, Bernie. Trunksy update should be up next week for sure. Print any multi-part prints. Yes, I want to see dimensional accuracy on this, so I will print something, one of those print in place articulated things, definitely. You're more than welcome, Andy. Yes, I need to wrap my cables first. Let me get this here because I'm actually quite proud of that. We'll leave this as a showpiece. Alright guys, well, I'm sorry it was a short one, but I had to get this out there. I was waiting a bit because I know Tom's stream was going on and Ryan is going to go live very soon, so make sure you check him out. He's going to be ZBrushing a bit. He's doing an awesome kick-ass Tigger, which I'm definitely going to print once it's ready. Code point, yes, that's as good as you can get. Thank you, non-productive. So once again, thank you very much, guys. I will definitely have another live stream during the week, possibly Tuesday evening. I will do an unboxing and first print of the Enervision EV160, which is from a new company on the market doing 3D printers. So I'm very, very, very excited about that. Star-Lord. Star-Lord is winning the poll. No, but you still do it, Tigger. More than welcome, Demon. Thank you guys very much. And as always, happy making, guys.